I'm not quite sure why this young lady's laughing, everybody. Well, yeah, I know why. I know why. She knows why. You lot are going like, what the hell's going on? What are they doing on? Yes, it's a Tuesday, but it's not the first Tuesday of the month. We do know that. We do know that. But welcome to Real Talk with Simply Deez. We have a special show to you tonight, Tuesday, the 15th of November. Welcome. Is there any way they wouldn't know, Shell? Why would they not know? We've been promoting it for months now, and it's all out there. International Men's Celebration. We are hosting in partnership with Futures House. Do you know what? I'm feeling emotional. Saturday, the 26th of November, 10:30 till 5. You're going to get sick of us and sick of the information. Do we look like we care? Are we bothered? Our shout out to all of you that are watching, and all of you that aren't watching. You need to be there. You truly need to be there. We have got some of the speakers, exhibitors who are going to be there on the day, and they have taken their time out, not just today, because they're coming on the 26th, to just share with you some of their experiences, some of their life journey. And this is really a bit of a tease, isn't it, Shell? Kind of a bit of a tease, a bit of a, oh, what's this event all about? And you may just change your mind and reach. Now, this is the 7th year that Simply Deez have been putting on this event. You all know, yeah, you women out there, and some of the guys, just tiny few, are aware that there is an international men's event. And officially, that is the 19th of November and has been since the 80s. And has been since the 1980s. But we all know about International Women's Day because we promote it, we celebrate it, we encourage the guys to support us as women. Do we not, Shell? Yeah. You know, and then when it comes to International Men's, it's like, I don't know. What's out there? What's out there for them? I don't know. You're on social media a lot, Shell. You see lots of events.
A few times it gets mentioned. A few times it's a hashtag. I have not really seen actual events taking place unless you actually go onto the official International Men's Day website, because they do have themes every year. It's all very similar, but yes, until you're actually on there, do you actually see events? And you have to really look for it, unfortunately.
And why is that? Why should they have to look for it?
Yeah.
So from 2008, been organising International Women's Day, and I was aware there was an International Men's Day, but I'm a woman, so I'm going to focus on the women. And then there was a situation where two of our very good friends, their sons were sectioned in terms of mental health. And you know, when you think about something anyway, and then something just triggers something else. It's like, what about the men? What about the men's show?
Yeah.
What about the men? I'm going to sort of like throw your way because this lady is stats, statistics, information galore. So
what kind of stats do you want?
we will go into stats a little bit later on. I can see that we've got a young man that's joined us. We're going to bring him on in just a moment. You sit tight, Brandon. You ain't going nowhere. You're not going nowhere. But where were we on Sunday, Shell? We were at the Discovery Centre, weren't we? At the Artisan Fair.
Yep.
On Sunday. So it's all, I don't know, cakes, bakes.
Yeah, we've got our bakers, we've got
florists.
our crafty people up there. So homemade cards, sewing stuff, the candle man, the preserves people,
Sahara Bee.
Sahara Bee, yep.
Just loads. So why is it I'm there, just like Shell, and somehow it doesn't matter where you are, you can still do, I think, the works. So we're standing there, and people are just in and out. And this young man, he didn't pass where I was, to be honest with you. I was with Trish from Trish's Creative Corner. He didn't pass our way. He was going the other way. But I politely said to him, before you leave, come and see me.
Yeah, you didn't know who it was.
Trish goes like, who's that? I said, I don't know. And she's thinking like, well, so why are you talking to him? Because that is what I do. And we had a chat for about 40 minutes. He's telling me he doesn't talk to people. It's certainly not strangers. Suffers with anxiety and a few other things. And do you know what he said to me? He said, and he was with his son.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm here.
But we knew why he was at the thing, but not why he was with you. Why you collared him.
Trish is there. She's commenting. I can't even see what she's putting, but I don't know why I'm here. When he says here, he didn't mean at the event. He meant here, as in on this earth. He doesn't know what his purpose is. He doesn't know why he's here. As we go through this evening, and certainly that's why you need to make it there on the 26th of November. Greetings, Samara. Love you. You'll get a little understanding of why we do what we do. We're going to be dispelling those myths. Men don't talk. Don't get me wrong. Maybe not as much as the women, but they do talk. They do share. Greetings, Rita. I'm going to stop for now because we've got our first guest waiting in the wings, as they say. Bring him on, Shell. Bring him on. Oh, greetings, Brandon. Greetings. How are you, darling?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah. I'm a bit speechless, to be honest. Shelley, you probably wouldn't have met Shelley previously, Brandon, but Shelley was actually at the event that I was hosting, so she knows all about you. She knows all about you. So before we start getting into a conversation, Brandon, I know we've spoken. Now you know, because you're going to be there on the 26th, am I right?
Yeah.
So audience out there, this young man is going to be there on the 26th of November. Now, you're thinking like, why is she cutting him off? Why is she not letting him talk? Because he's not going to tell you everything.
Oh, I'm not supposed to. Okay.
No, because that way then they'll be like, I know what he's going to say. Right. They're going to know a little bit about you, Brandon, but they're going to want to know more. This is the whole point. We're going to leave them wanting more, and that way then they will reach on the 26th because they're going to want to find out more. So welcome, Brandon Abraham. Am I correct?
Yeah, Brandon Abraham.
Woo! Excellent, excellent, excellent. Everybody show some love to this young man. Brandon, how old are you?
20 years old, just turned 20. So
You've just turned 20.
Yeah, a few months ago.
So a proper, I don't know, do we call him a spring chicken, Shell? Is he still a spring chicken? Shell's laughing in the background.
I feel like I've been there for a while.
Sorry?
I feel like I've been there for a while. But,
Okay, yeah, you have.
yeah.
You have. Now, what I'd like for you to do, Brandon, because we are beaming to the masses. We're trying to make it to 1 million viewers tonight. We're just shy of 900 and some or other thousand, can't remember what it is, just shy of 1 million viewers. To the masses out there, we're beaming. So, can you tell the guys just a little bit about
small insight about myself
before you get into what you actually do?
Okay, it's hard to say about myself without stemming into that, but I'll
Oh no, you're going to tell them what you do, but I don't want you telling them too much.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, so nothing at all, but yeah, just not too much. You can save some for on the 26th when you're going to give them the full works.
Right. Okay. So yeah, essentially, my name's Brandon Abraham. I'm from London, and yeah, I drive cars in circles for a living.
Drive cars in circles for a living.
Yeah.
You've got to remember, these guys out there have got no idea anything. There might be a few that know anything about you.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'm a racing driver. So I've been racing since I was 8 years old, and yeah, on the journey to hopefully get to Formula One. So yeah. It's hard not to say a lot more, but
no, you can. I do actually want a little bit more from you, Brandon. Let me ask the questions, and that way, then I'll lead you.
Yeah, that'll be easy. Yeah, so I don't say anything.
So you're not. You know that we're in Luton. You're not a Lutonian. So where were you born? Give us a little bit about schooling. Did you enjoy school?
Yes, I was born in London. Yeah, school. I mean, school was interesting for me because I was in and out. Of course, with my racing, I missed a lot of school because I was away karting, right? So school was kind of giving me a lot of time off to do that. But it was still a good experience. I enjoyed it. I feel like everyone lives and learns. It's part of an experience, isn't it? But yeah, it was a good environment. I enjoyed it personally. So yeah.
Okay, you mean what time you were there?
yeah, what time I was there. But, my friends were really supportive of my racing, and so were the teachers and stuff. So yeah, no, it was good. It was good.
I take it you didn't feel like you missed out on school then?
No, because I think the one thing people may think is that you miss out on childhood a bit, but I think there's two things with that. Number one, I kind of made up for it, whereas I made a friendship group in racing, so I would stay in hotels. We were only like 11, 12 at this time, 13, so I'd make friends out there. We'd kind of do the same things you do in school, mess around, even though we're drivers, but they're supposed to be professional. But no, I think that's the main thing. And then with the schooling side of things, academically I did alright, not amazing, but I think that my career, I always wanted to be a driver, so it's part of the sacrifices the way I see it. So yeah, it's kind of putting all your eggs into one basket and just being confident in yourself and your ability that you can get somewhere. And I'm doing quite decent so far, so I hope to think so.
Oh my gosh, I should bring on Miss Formula One. That's the producer, Shelley, Miss Formula One, because she'll tell you. And actually, if Cecile was here, because I can't remember who she's like. Cecile, if you are watching. Definitely, Janetti, I was just reading messages on there. Sorry.
Yeah, I get my Formula One knowledge quite a lot. Well, my love of Formula One, I should say, off my mum. My mum would be up in the middle of the night, like now in her 80s, because she wants to watch it that wherever it happens to be. So some of those ones that are then 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Wow. Very passionate about it then.
And she doesn't even drive herself. No, one of the things I was going to, from where you said you started, are we talking go-karts?
Yeah,
Talking...
karts, yeah.
Yeah.
So essentially, most drivers start in kart. People like Lewis Hamilton, most F1 drivers you see today started there. So yeah, I karted from the age of 8 years old till 16, which is kind of the normal age you move out into car racing. So yeah, that's where it all started. So.
And then coming all the way through now, what's the difference in the size of engine that you're driving now to an F1? You're quite close now.
I can't exactly say the car will be racing next year yet because I wouldn't be allowed to. But it's essentially the cars are quite similar, you could say. But yeah, the engines are quite different. I mean, you still have the same downforce and the same kind of car. It's essentially the same thing, but it's a mini version of it.
Right.
I'd say, but it's the engines are quite a lot smaller, But yeah, hopefully, I mean, it's a stepping stone, right? So you go up the ladder, and eventually it gets faster and faster. It kind of preps you for it, I'd say. So yeah.
My husband accused me of driving Miss Daisy and driving ultra slow. So you wouldn't want to be going anywhere with me, Brendan.
Well, I think on the road it's justified, isn't it? Safety is number one priority.
Not the speed that I go.
Well, extra safety is never harmful, I guess.
See? You lot see?
Listen, and I will now own up. Husband did say earlier on today when I said about drive, I'm known that if the Top Gun theme tune is on in my car, I might go a little bit faster than I should. I do like a bit of speed.
Absolutely unbelievable. Do you have, Brandon, because we're not going to sort of like, we can't rinse you out tonight. We can't rinse you out. The friends that you had from when you were younger, do you still have the same friends, or is your friendship group changing as you go along? And
do you mean in terms of my racing? In terms of my my school friends or my racing, or just in general?
Just in general, the friends, the people around you.
I'd say I'm very open, so I have quite a close circle. I like to hang around with people who are like-minded, like myself, who are always pushing me. I believe at some point you can kind of outgrow people. I think you were staying in the same place. But for me, I've always tried to keep in contact with everyone that I grew up with. Of course, it's quite difficult to do that. I'm so busy at the moment, but I do my best to when I can see people that I know from the past. I will go and hang out with them, or I'll talk to them. But I think for now, my close circle is mainly drivers who I train with. They're kind of in the same situation as me, so we relate on a lot of things. We always have advice for each other, always kind of helping each other out. And yeah, it's good to be surrounded with people who have the same goals as you, because you are who you hang around with, per se. And I've kind of found that in the past.
Oh yes. Your parents may have said, I know mine certainly did, and I know I said that to mine, you are known by the company.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. When we had a chat, I think it might have been Sunday, I can't remember now. Tell us about partying, raving, all of that sort of stuff. Tell us.
So I've never been to one in my entire life. I've never drunk. I've never smoked. I've actually never been to a proper party, which is a bit, it's some people could say, oh, that's very boring, whatever. For me, it's like, I want to do everything that I can and tick.
Possibly can.
Vision, but tick every single box I can just to be the best driver I can. I don't want to look back in my future and say, oh, I could have done this, could have done that, could have maybe not, been distracted here. And I think that I've got to that age now where I believe in myself, I believe in the team around me, and I think, for me, I'd almost be letting people down, my family and everyone who's invested so much into me, by doing that and wasting away precious hours I could be putting into bettering my craft. So yeah, that's the way I see it. I still enjoy my life. I still do fun things, but not that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Okay. So what is your pastime when you're not driving? What do you do? What do you get up to?
At the moment, because it's pre-season, it's quite busy. So a lot of contractual stuff, a lot of meetings. Spending a lot of time in the gym, working on my strength for my racing next year, and a lot of mental training as well. So people, of course, people will know athletes have to be very mentally tough. And for me, I do meditation and yoga every morning and night without fail. I take it
Wow.
off. So I have a routine I write down on a notepad. I have to do it daily. It's really benefited me. I see myself in such a focused state now since doing that. So yeah, it's really benefited me. And yeah, I think that's mainly my routine. Ever so often I go out, but normally it's with friends who are again in the same industry as me. Some of them aren't, but again, it's normally just going out to eat, spending quality time. Nothing crazy like going to a party or nothing like that. Most of the time I'll decline an offer. If they say, "Do you want to go to a party?" I'll say, "Not today, mate," or I'll make up an excuse. But internally I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go to that. So it doesn't seem efficient to what I'm trying to do and become. So yeah.
I absolutely love that. My son, Jordan, he's working and hopefully he's going to come on at some point today. He's actually going to be co-hosting the event on the 26th, and he's going to share hopefully some of his journey and story. And exactly what you're saying, he will confirm most of that.
Yeah. No, I think with anyone, like even if you're not a driver, even if you're working in a flight, even if you're doing any job, first of all, one thing I'd always say is try and do a job you love, because you can only do something, you love really well. If you're enjoying it, it's all that matters. And for me, it's like, even if I was, a runner or a bike rider or something else, just ticking all the boxes to be that best version of myself, I'd always make sure I do that. So I think the advice I would give to anyone, just no matter what you're doing, always try and be that best version of yourself, so.
Are you sure you're only 20?
I'd like to think so.
I mean that in a good way. Sorry, I mean that in a good way. Have you got siblings?
Yeah, I've got two younger sisters and one younger brother.
Okay, are they sort of sporty at all, or are they kind of?
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah, I mean, my two younger ones are a bit, bit kind of too young to understand everything that's going on yet. I plan to take them to a race this year, which should be an amazing experience for them. Because I think actually when I won my first European Championship, and they were crying as well on the TV, and it was so crazy to hear their emotion through the phone. It was quite an amazing experience, and it shows that it does touch them. So I think when they get a bit older and they understand the whole process and the whole journey and what it's all about, it will be quite cool for them. But my younger sister Megan, she's very supportive of me, and she's like my best friend per se. I talk to her about everything, and yeah, we're really close. So.
Shell, I need you to talk. Oh my god, I've got Amit messaging me now. But yeah, you're kind of just. I can't think of the words I want to use right now. Brandon, so that's kind of what I got Shelley on.
Right.
I suppose with driving from a young age, you kind of have to be in that right mindset that you kind of have to think about everything, because with any athlete, it's how you perform on that one day.
Yeah.
So if something was to go wrong and it's not necessarily your fault, you kind of got to dust yourself off and go again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So anything like that would then naturally it'd be a life skill to learn stuff.
Yeah, it does, honestly. It gives you so much, like business as well. Like for me in racing, I've learned so much business stuff in the last few months, which is crazy. And I feel like even, if I didn't become a driver, which I hope I do, but if I didn't, I'd know so much business stuff for another career per se. So I think, going through something like driving, specifically is very, very good, for so many different reasons. For competing, again, the business side and, so many different things of how to conduct yourself, because racing is so much about sponsorship and, the financial side. You have to really know how to conduct yourself and be a brand, for people who really want to support you and trust you, so, yeah, you learn a lot from it. So
yeah, I suppose like with being a brand as well, that also then is another thing that then kind of comes from you not wanting to go out and partying all the time because there'd be just that one little episode.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Tied up in it because you happen to be out at the same time as someone else.
Exactly. So
yeah,
there's no point putting yourself in that situation unnecessarily for a bit of temporary pleasure, or so.
Oh, James Hunt film. Yes, I do like the James Hunt film. That was another way, sort of like going from the time, like the James Hunt thing, that he just had a self-belief.
Yeah.
That's all of that attitude that he had towards everything was the self-belief. I know what I can do with that particular car, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Everyone's different. Like, everyone has their different ways of performing. Like, some people, like, for example, Hunt, he smoking cigarettes, doing all those things with girls, whatever. But that was his thing, and that's what made him be the best version of himself. Maybe he could have been better, you could argue, but that worked for him. For me, I don't live like a monk per se, but I'm very, I eat very cleanly. I try and avoid sugar. For me, I do everything I can to be the best version of myself, and that's what works for me. Everyone's different, so that's the way I see it. So.
Stay where you are.
It was just a few medals that are beside him just there. Just a few.
The medals, the trophies.
But I don't suppose you can get a shelf big enough for all of your stuff that's next to you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few over there as well, but we won't talk about that.
Right.
For me, the trophies are more about they're more about memory. So for me, each one of them, if I look at it, I remember the race I've done. So for me, it's more about, it doesn't matter about gold, bronze, whatever. It's more about what it meant to me. Like, I maybe have a third place, but I know what the race meant to me and how hard it was to get that. And that's why I really take pride in just looking at them and remembering those races. Because of course, like, you have so many races throughout your career. I mean, I've been racing since I was 8, so it's you would think it's hard to remember them, but when you actually look at the trophy and remember holding it in that moment, it's just so precious, and it's like you really remember it deeply. So that's why I don't really matter about the numbers or what they look like. It's not about what they mean per se. So yeah.
I need to bring on this young man. We need to bring on Stephen Shell, because this young man, I know he followed Formula One, and this is Stephen Akinsanya. Please tell me I've got it right. I should do.
You got it right. You have it.
Yeah. Brandon, you'll get to meet Stephen on the 26th, because Stephen's going to be there. Stephen, before we kind of bring you fully on, even though you're on, is there anything that you want to say to this young man? Because I take it you've heard some of what he's shared with us.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, look, Brandon, I'm super proud of your achievements. Racing at that level, I know it's so competitive. You have to be mentally and physically sharp. You're up against really stiff competition, and what you've managed to achieve already is just phenomenal. And as someone who loves motorsport, I'm really excited by your future, and I really look forward to hearing more about you. Funnily enough, I was listening to the tail end of the conversation about James Hunt, and Rush is one of my favorite films.
Yeah, it's a good movie, isn't it? Yeah,
it's a wonderful one. I love the chemistry between the two drivers, and I think the way in which James Hunt was quite brash, but he obviously had a raw talent. But they were just such brave guys. I mean, I've followed the history of racing, and as the years have progressed and the cars have got safer, it's been really important to see that, because these guys, what they did, and those who came before them, is just outstanding and in fact crazy.
Absolutely, yeah. I have huge respect for them for what they did back then, because even for me now, knowing I could die just like that is quite scary. So
but more kudos to you, sir. Well done.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
You're on mute, Dee.
Thank you. I need to make sure, because I've got people coming in and out, getting their dinner at the moment. So, Brandon, thank you so much
Thank you.
for taking this time out. There's so many comments in the chat from various different people. And if you want to know more about Brandon, you need to follow him. Brandon, just plug so that people can start following you, get some more information about you, and obviously, more importantly, meet you on the 26th.
Oh, absolutely. Okay. So yeah, on Instagram, my name, no, on all socials actually, it will be Brandon Abraham Racing. So just my name and then racing at the end. I have a website as well. Same thing, Brandon Abraham Racing, but it's not hasn't been updated yet for my 2023 plans, but it will be shortly. But yeah, that's about it really. So yeah, if you want to find me, I'll be on there. So.
And you will be there on the 26th of November.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I get through a lot of talks. You know, I will be next year, but this will be one of my first proper talks. So I'll really.
Ooh.
So.
That's Simply Deez. That's another little coup we've got there. And you'll be meeting the amazing, as I said, Stephen. You'll get. We've never actually met, have we, Brandon?
I don't think so.
We've never met. It's purely been on a Zoom, this type of basis. So it'd be really great to meet you on the 26th as well. So thank you very much. And we'll catch up. I'll catch up with you in the week.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, darling. All right. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Oh my gosh. Mr. Akinsanya, can you believe it? The young man's 20, just turned 20.
Amazing. But, you know, there's an example of a young man who's dedicated to his craft and he's doing it. And that's what it's all about.
It is. It certainly is. I feel so honoured, honestly, to have you and everybody that's taking time out. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to keep it real because the show's called Real Talk. You guys are not getting paid to do these things. You guys are giving up your time to come on sort of like on the platform here and at the events and things like that. The reason being, when you share in a moment, because one of the ladies put, oh my gosh, can't wait to meet you again. She remembers you from 2019.
Oh, wow.
And she said you were outstanding.
That's very kind.
She wasn't being kind. She was keeping it real. The audience out there might be a few that know you, Stephen, but many of the guys out there don't know you. I said to Brandon, and I know you've been on before, but we're going to hold some back for the 26th because this is a bit of a tease. We want them to come along on the 26th, but to do that, they need to know what are we going to bring to the table. So we're bringing Stephen Akinsanya. Tell the guys just a little bit about yourself, your story of how you became what you currently are, if that's okay.
All right. Well, Stephen Akinsanya is my name. I'm the son of a Trinidadian mother and a Nigerian father, born in Bristol, but grew up in Croydon in South London, in a place called Thornton Heath. Went to school locally, and as a young boy at the age of 12, had a desire to become a lawyer after watching the old television program called Crown Court. I used to watch it at lunchtimes, and I was fascinated by the oratory skills, the arguments, the court dress, but I never saw anyone who looked like me, other than the person who was playing the role of the defendant. But notwithstanding that, I was still determined to do it. And after many ups and downs, many failures and successes, I was called to the Bar of England and Wales almost 30 years ago now. Since then, I practiced exclusively in the area of criminal law, and I did a lot of work in Luton. Many people may remember the Wardown Park murder back a few years ago. I was involved in that case, and I've been involved in a number of murder cases. And sadly, these cases involve young people. And my passion has now turned not just to defending young people charged with the most serious criminal offences, but also now being a role model and mentor to try and dissuade young people from getting involved in criminal activity, leading them to appear in court, getting long sentences, and actually being robbed of the destiny and purpose that they actually have within them waiting to be discovered. And that's all I'm going to give you for now, because actually I'm on a murder case now in Winchester. I've literally come home to pick something up, and I'm about to drive back to Winchester in about 20 minutes, but I didn't want to let Dee down.
Oh, Stephen, thank you so much. That's it, guys. You heard it here. If you want to know more about Stephen and what he does, you need to be there on the 26th. Stephen, thank you so much. Continue what you're doing, and we will catch up before then, darling.
All right. God bless. Take care.
All right. Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Just puts little snippets in them, just sort of like all the time.
Yeah, that kind of like, it's like winded me. It's like, but I didn't want to let you down. And I'm thinking, you've got more things to be doing, or better things to be doing. And you don't want to.
I actually just messaged my niece, because my niece has actually worked with him, where she's like a paralegal, legal secretary kind of thing. And I've just suddenly remembered. Oh, I didn't actually tell her that he's actually going to be at International Men's Day. And she's just messaged me back saying he's such a legend, but I doubt if he remembers me.
Oh wow!
But I got to make sure that I do say hi. I say hi from her. But yeah, to have someone like him, like working your case on your side, not just being that person that knows the paperwork in and out or knows the books in and out. It's someone that actually has got the thoughts and feelings towards what's actually happening, and the reasonings behind it as well. I mean, we know that there's stuff that's going on in Houghton Regis at the moment, and I did hear, like, was listening to local radio earlier on, and there was a councillor that was on there, and he was saying sort of, or there needs to be more awareness, like more awareness days and things that should be done all the time. And was almost trying to say, well, perhaps the local radio station should take on a thing that we should be campaigning every day. And I was screaming at the radio going, there are people out there that are doing it day in, day out as a charity, not being paid, because they have huge thoughts about knife crime and going down that life of crime. There are out there. And for a councillor to then not know what's going on in his own constituents is just ridiculous. Not knowing what's going on in his own area. To be able to then say, well, I know of so and so and so and so, was then saying, oh, perhaps there should be someone campaigning, when there is always someone there campaigning. And Stephen is one of those kind of people that has been there and done the work outside of work.
2000%. 2000%. And if the guys were listening, I'm sure he said he lives in, I'm sure it was Surrey Heath.
So, yeah.
Last time Stephen came down was 2019 to that International Men's.
Yeah.
His wife had been on holiday.
Yes.
He picked her up from the airport. I love you. Jumped in the car and came to Luton to be at our event. And just totally, he's got us now. He may try to shake us off, but it's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to.
It is not going to happen. Yeah, a real young man who is doing so much. And there are so many people, just like you said, Shell, that are doing so much for the community out there. A lot of things, a lot of people are unaware of. And this is why we do the shows and we do events. And correct me if I'm wrong, Shelley, even though I know you know, I know, if that makes sense. This is said flyer here.
Yes.
How much is this costing people to enter? I can't remember. How much is the cost? How much are we charging them?
Wow, yeah, because we did turn around and say there's other events that have been out there, and it cost a certain amount of money, and yeah, because of the caliber of people that you're putting on, and no, we're doing it free. We're doing
Hang on
it
a minute.
free.
So we've already seen 2 guests, Brandon, racing driver.
Yeah.
We've just seen Stephen, barrister. That's just
Both
2.
of who could be, you could even put down on their CV, motivational speakers
200%.
speaking at our event, and they're doing it for free. And we are putting this event on for free for those to turn up.
I can see so many people messaging. The last message I can currently see on my screen is from a gentleman called Patrick Lagan. I don't know if Patrick is around. When I say around, as in like would jump on. What happened a few years ago, Shell? The show's called Real Talk.
Yeah.
You're going to be there. Are you going to come on tonight? Is the question. We know you're going to be there. Are you going to come on tonight? I would really love, if you can, only if you can, Patrick.
You want to? There's a message in your Facebook inbox.
Okay. He's just sent a message. He's not around. Okay, that's absolutely fine.
I take it we're allowed to talk a little bit about you, Patrick. Oh, wow.
Oh, right. Okay. No, maybe not. Maybe not, Shell. Maybe not. Okay, let's go out. We've got, we're nearly 1 million viewers watching right now. Yep. Of course you are. 1 million viewers watching right now. To those that have been to an international men's, so that's to like the Trish and Patrick.
Patrick.
For those that haven't been, I don't believe Rita's been. I know Janetti's not been, and there's some others. I'd like, because we've got some other people that are going to be joining us, but it's just a case of people are busy. People are busy with their lives, and they're going to be jumping on as and when they can. But I don't know. Somebody that's attended an event, can you tell us what it's meant to you? And what have you got? What have you gained? What have you been able to share with somebody else?
Because we always have difficulty explaining international men's. I mean, international women's, it is the women getting together, and we do have like our ladies soiree and things like that we do, and it goes along a certain line of people chatting and sort of the speakers and everything else. With an international men's, none of us that are actually putting on the event are obviously men, but we put it on and we invite particular people to come and speak, and particular people to actually be exhibitors there as well. So you have your support from charities that we know of, or projects that we know of. Try and keep it quite local, and we try and have the smaller person there, if you know what I mean. Everyone knows love the bigger charities and things, but sometimes these smaller ones just don't get the acknowledgements and things. So we do put it on, but then through the course of putting that on, it kind of develops its own bubble, and it creates that safe space. And that's the only way that I can explain it. It creates the safe space that someone opens up and talks, and that's all it needs. That one person to open up. And you get that natural, I mean, every time I talk about it, look, I've got goosebumps again. I know I've just kind of half seen Patrick's, and I'll put that up on the screen in a minute. That it creates that space to talk, and you feel safe in talking, and we always try and make it so you feel nurtured, comforted by talking. It's not like, oh, well done, you've talked. Yeah, thank you very much. And then that's it. You're talking, and then you have the gaps in between of people talking and your breaks, and people start networking amongst themselves, and they have that bit of a Me Too moment and support one another. But all we've actually done as organisers is put it on, and it does it by itself. Thankfully, we've got that bit of magic that we can do that and create that space.
We've got a young man that's just joined us, Shell. Greetings, Michael Francis. I don't believe I know who you are, but welcome to the show, and thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I'm going to come to you in just a second, Michael. Purely, Shelley's put up the note from Patrick. Patrick will be attending on the 26th of November, also as well. And yeah, let's bring on. This is Patrick Lagan, but let's bring on a young man who's co-hosting the event.
I don't know.
Let's see why I should do all the work. Yeah. Why should we do all the work? Because they think it's us.
Who that?
How are we doing?
Greetings, Jordan. Greetings. How are you?
Not too bad. Not long finished work, to be honest. Sorry for turning off a bit late, but
don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. We've had on Brandon Abraham, who's a racing driver, just turned 20.
Oh yeah.
And he'll be coming along. He's super excited for next week. He's never actually spoken at an event before, so we've got him. Well, you've got him. Stephen, our friend Stephen Akinsanya, the barrister. Yeah. Stephen's actually working and didn't want to let me down, so he quickly popped on, and he's disappeared. I think because you hosted online, didn't you, last year? Do you remember Patrick?
I sure do. Yeah, Patrick. I think Patrick went last, didn't
he? Yes, he did.
And he ended the show amazingly. So yeah, I remember Patrick very well. Yeah, I do. Yeah. He's from Luton as well, isn't he? So
yes, he is.
I do remember.
He is. Yeah. And you would have known some of his story from before because you've attended the international men's events. So for those of you that are just watching or just joining and what have you in that, and sort of seeing this young man here, Jordan Patrick will be co-hosting. Who are you, Jordan Patrick? Tell the guys, just don't tell them too much. Tell them just a little bit about yourself, please, if you don't mind.
Okay, so I'm 30 now. I have to remember my age. A couple of weeks ago. I'm from Luton, born and bred. I'm actually Dee Bailey's son, if anyone recognises the resemblance. So yeah, I'm from Luton. Where do I begin? Well,
you're not going to tell them. I don't, because you're going to say.
Oh, I don't want to give too much. Okay, so
this is all about reeling them in.
I'm not a host. Put it this way: I'm not a host, but I am somebody who is. Yeah, I'm a host, but at the same time, I'm like any other man in the terms of I can relate to pretty much everybody. We're all men, and even International Women's Day, of course, I turn up, and I just can't wait to host, share everybody's stories, and just make sure everyone has a good time, and make sure it's an educational day in the sense of everyone leaves with something. That's what it's about. Whether it's, do you know what I mean? You relate to somebody's story. You really like a musician, you end up following a musician. In that sense, so it's going to be a special day. Like I said, I'm not going to give too much into my story. It's not about me. But yeah,
tell them a little bit about you though, just a little bit.
Okay, so I'm actually, I'd say I'm still the youngest footballer to ever play for Luton Town. I played for Luton for over 10 years. I started my career at about 9 years old. I've then had to transition into the working world, should I say. I've got two children. I had my first daughter when I was 18, turning 19, so she's 11 now. Yeah, so I'd like to say I've kind of lived, I've kind of experienced many things. Got friends in obviously different avenues of life. And yeah, we all got a story. We all got a story. So it's important that we get to share our story. If you can. And as men, we don't talk much, so that's why International Men's Day is so important for me. And it'll be important for obviously everyone because it's a chance for everyone to just sort of share their story. Also, get together as a community. It's a community day. Everyone's welcome. Women, men, everybody's welcome. So if we can all sort of get together and sort of embrace that day, I'm sure it'll be a special one. Really. Yeah. Obviously, you wanted me to talk alone, but yeah, I don't want to give too much. I don't want to give too much.
No,
On the
that's
day,
absolutely
I'll
fine.
be ready. I'll be ready. Um, don't worry about that.
Yeah, not worried about that at all. We've got different people joining us at different times um, today, Jordan, because obviously everybody's busy working or doing what have you. So people are
Mhm.
jumping on at different times. Um, yeah, there's Michael Francis. I don't know who Michael is. And I started with saying, greetings, Michael, and welcome. Um, can you read what Michael's written, Jordan?
Yeah. Do you want me to read it out or?
Yes, please.
Men don't attend these events as vigorously as women do. They don't talk so easily, but need to. Speakers need to be more representative of the average man, or men feel alienated. Um, you're spot on, Michael. And that's why, obviously, this day is, yeah, it's not just another day. It's an important day. And every year since we've been doing it, since you've been doing it, Mum, should I say, 8 years now. International men's and international women's. Everyone's just got better, bigger. And of course, last year with the lockdown as well, it was still packed in terms of online. So to have everyone in the flesh now and sort of meeting and greeting, able to sort of socialize a bit more, I'm sure it'll be a bit more in depth than it was just online. And even online, it was great, though. It was a great day. I left feeling very inspired.
Yeah, so don't know where Michael is. Don't know if he's going to post where he is. But in terms of, I think what he's kind of trying to, when you say speakers, you're thinking these people are professional speakers and that's what they
No,
do and go out
no,
and their profession. And as in layman is not going to get it and not relate. Can you,
no.
Jordan, just tell Michael how it goes?
So, Michael, basically, you don't have to have 1,000, 1 million followers on any social media to have a story, do you? Or to be not an influencer, but to be someone of influence. Or and I look at this day as if you can change one person's perspective, you've done your job. At the end of the day, we can't look at it and think, oh, I need to wow everybody. I need you telling your story. Somebody might be just sitting there in the crowd, just look at you and just take every word that you've said, has been through the same thing. We've all, in terms of, I mean, if you've grown up in England, you might not have even grown up in England, and that's the worst thing, but the best thing about it, because sometimes, yeah, there could be somebody who's not actually from England, but the way they're telling their story, you cannot believe it that you've been through the same sort of path or in similarities to that person. It's actually amazing. It is really amazing. And then to see where you are now, and of course everyone's still growing. Every day we should be learning. Every day is a new day. Tomorrow's never promised to nobody. So in that case, yeah, be confident and just say how it is. Um, there's no need to like. Of course, nerves come into it, but that means you care, and we can all sense that. So it's nothing to be afraid of. I'd say, Michael. Um, I'm not a, like I said, I'm not a special co-host. I don't go out. I've hosted several events recently. Um, I'll be honest. And of course I'm getting better. But that's just an avenue that an opportunity's come to me. Let me read out what Michael's saying. I'm in Luton. Been to events before, over many years, in fact. I do, however, feel that the younger generation need a greater perspective at these events as we will have a story that relates to them. Exactly. And that's what it's about also. It's about the younger generation. I love when I see lots of young people there um, because it shows they care and of course they're going to take in our stories as well. And that's what it's about for me, especially. It's just setting a good example. Um, Seeing someone up on the stage who's going you can tell maybe relates to you in some way, shape, or form just helps. It's like when we used to watch films and you see somebody who relates to your story, you end up following them or you follow their journey or even want to do what they want to do. So just all about setting a good example, really. Would you agree, Mum? I'm just here talking on my own. But yeah, feel free. It's going to be a great day. Um, is that a signal, Shelley?
No, I should just switch the
Oh,
camera off.
okay.
So yeah, I wasn't quite sure. I was just finding because one thing that I didn't do was look at what the theme is. We don't tend to always go by the theme of what International Men's Day is, but this one this year, the official one, if you like, um, is helping men and boys. So it is exactly what you was just saying about it's having people been there, seen it, done it. This is my story. Learn from it. If I can inspire you it, or if I can like direct you away from what I did, it's the stories that need to be repeated
Yeah,
often.
no, 100%. And even for me, like I said, I've been at several events, and it's so it's so warming when you actually see somebody telling a story and you think, you know what? Remember Leon? I remember when Leon came up,
Yeah,
Leon Lawrence. Hats off to Leon Lawrence because his story that day, I'll never forget it. I was so in tune in what he was saying. He's not a public speaker. He doesn't do it often. He just went up and told his story. But
yeah,
I related to his story so well, and it even made me think. And so what we kept in touch. We realized our birthdays were like a day apart, and things like that. And yeah, it's such a warming thing. You don't have to be a speaker. Like I said, like you said, Shelley. Really, it's just about showing the younger generation a different way, a different path. Um, and we all have choices. We all have choices. Sometimes you make the right ones, sometimes you make the wrong ones. So nobody's perfect. But of course, the more knowledge you have, then obviously pass on to wisdom, and of course, each one teach one. You may have a friend who might not be there on that day, but what you've learned, and then he trusts you enough to take in what you've said, could then change the decisions that he makes. So, as I said, it's just about sort of just speaking up, really, as men, as well, because growing up, young people, we especially as young people, we don't like to talk. Men even more so because you feel like I'm being too emotional or etc. etc. And that's why that day is very important because it's a chance for us to speak. No one's judging you. Everyone's here for you, really. So yeah, and there's going to be lots of food. There'll be
draw me
There'll be
with
lots
it.
of laughter. There's gonna be lots of laughter. It's gonna be a good day. So,
It's going to be a
um,
roller
whether
coaster.
you're there for 20 minutes, if you could be there the whole day, even better. I'm sure. Yeah, it'll be the best weekend of your life.
Yeah.
In that sense. So yeah.
And it'd be nice if you kind of, because we're going to be there obviously for the whole day, Michael. If you can fly through, please kind of make us known. You're Michael, and it'd be nice to say hi. I've got people messaging me, guys, so that's why I had to kind of go off screen there. But
Mhm.
who have we got attending on the day? Do you know
And
anybody
another thing,
attending on the
I,
day,
I,
Jordan?
can I add? Sorry,
Yeah, of
it's
course.
not. It's not. Oh, I need to come in a suit or I need to come in a certain attire. You come as you are. You come as you feel comfortable. It's uh, I, it's not church. It's not a funeral. It's not. There's no particular. As Shelley said, it's not a theme to it. It's a special day for men to come as you please, and as you feel comfortable. Yeah, cool. You was gonna say something?
Yeah, I think you've got Michael. He said, "Did someone say food?"
Yeah, I know. I have to.
Always good to
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah. There's gonna be plenty of food. Plenty of food. So, yeah, it's gonna be a special day. Um, that you
Who's
can eat.
attending? Do you know anyone attending? Who's going to be speaking
Uh,
on the day?
um,
Do you know
I
any of
know.
them? Anybody
I
who's
know
opening the event?
Oh, yeah.
you're going to be opening the new event. No?
No. Who did I tell you
Oh,
so?
oh, you put me on the spot now.
I know. Yeah, you're going to get fried. Proper.
You
Yeah.
just got the mum look. That's all I'm laughing at. You just.
Oh my God.
Did you play football at all?
I said, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you know what I mean? Drop a hint in for me. Like, yeah, Ricky Hill's going to be there. So any Luton Town fans or any Luton Town people, Ricky Hill's actually going to be there. We've managed to get him on. So that shows how big this day's going to be. Yeah, Ricky's a legend. So to have him come down as well, you can get his signature, get a few photos. He's coming off his own back, and yeah, he's going to be tucking into the food, I'm sure as well. So
He might not be
love.
there that long to be tucking into the
No,
food, Jordan, but
he might
yeah,
not
he's
be,
coming
but
along and I'm
he'll
sure he's been
go
sample
coming
that.
at the kitchen. I'm sure he might hang on.
Who's that young man that is currently in I think he's in Manchester at the moment.
Oh, a good friend of mine who's a good friend of mine, but I know of him, and every time we've spoken or crossed paths, we've had a lovely energy. Probably one of the most humble people I've ever met, to be honest, considering what he has achieved. And his name is Jordan Thomas, who's actually a world champion for the GB. He's from Luton. He's going to be coming to tell his side, well, his story, sort of how he got into it, what he's achieved, and that alone is just inspiring. The fact that he's from Luton, a small place, and he's ended up being the world champion. So you can imagine what he's been involved in, his journey. So yeah, it's gonna be really 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 good, really really good. If I say anything more, you might just yeah, not sleep. Quite emo. Okay.
You're on mute.
He's on mute.
Sorry. Oh,
No
that's why
problem.
I've got the headset on because that's your dad. He goes, "Is that Jordan?" And I'm like, "Yes."
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got another young man in the wings that you know, Jordan. So Shell's going to bring him on, and yeah, I'm going to let you have a chat with this young man.
Okay.
Welcome, Jermaine.
You okay? Hello, long time.
It is. It seems like forever.
I know, and I apologise. I've been roped into helping out manage a team, so I'm outside in the cold at the moment.
No,
hope it's not too windy.
No, not at all. The show's called Real Talk, and that's realism.
That's it. That's it.
Dedicated. Yeah.
How we doing? Okay.
I'm all good.
Yeah.
I'm all good.
So this young man, Jordan, I know you two know each other, but Jordan's going to be co-hosting on the day, Jermaine. So
wicked.
we're handing over to you young guys to bring him. to bring it now. And there's a guy called Michael Francis. I don't know if you know Michael, and he was sort of saying about the youngins, and we're going like, we've stepped back. It's the young people that are hosting, and we're going to be bringing the young people on board. We've got a 9-year-old who sells his own lemonade. He makes his own. He's got his own business. He'll tell you he is the CEO of his business, and he's 9, 5 different flavours. I'm talking, Jermaine.
Yeah.
So we've got to be supporting the young ones coming through, as you know. But Jordan, do you want to have a brief chat with Jermaine? I'm going to come off for just a moment. All right.
No problem. Jay, how you been?
Yeah, good man, good. Just at Barton Rovers at the moment. So keeping my hand involved in football.
Of course. I've been doing coaching, to be fair, 1-to-1 coaching. Yeah, I've been coaching. That's I
Passing
kind
that
of given up.
knowledge on.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah,
How's
good.
tell us a bit about direction. How's that going?
Direction's going very well. We're growing, we're expanding. I think the last time was it 3 years ago, the last event. So the expansion since then has been crazy. So we've got another unit opening in Leighton Buzzard now. We're in more schools than ever. Obviously, you know Jordan Gatehouse, he's doing very well. What can I say?
Jamal's doing a few days. Jamal?
Yeah, Jamal works here 3 days a week now. Christian as well, yeah. So trying to give as many people a chance. Everyone's got a story to tell, innit? Everyone's got that lived experience, all from the same place. So we can engage with these young people and relate to them, and that's what it's all about, man. So yeah, people like Jamal never worked with kids before, but he's doing really well. Relates to the teenagers as well. Hopefully has a career in it. So it's all good, man.
Tell us how you started it, Jermaine. Tell us how you started it, because some people might not even know like what direction it is.
Yeah, so 9 years ago now. 9 years ago, I started just as a 1-to-1 mentoring service. So I'll never forget a lady called Mario Jules, who I think's been on the show as well, maybe years ago. She runs her own provision now. She was working in a school, and she kind of opened the door, went in, started doing some mentoring, and then it's just gone from strength to strength. Group work in schools to open our own alternative provision, working a lot with the Veru and youth offending service, working with young people in gangs and trying to divert them from crime and prevent them from getting involved in crime, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's many strands to it, and we've got plans to keep expanding. So yeah, that's where we're at the moment, man.
What about the summer camps you've been doing?
Yeah. So we work with as young as 4 years old. So when they're like 4 to 13, we do like holiday camps. So we do that over in Barton. So we do football camp and a dance camp, and we're starting a multi-skills camp next year. So that's what we do in the holidays. We're applying for some funding to do some more work with teenagers during the holidays, because we know they're vulnerable during the half terms, and there's not a lot for them to do. We've got loads of projects going on at the moment, man. I could sit here for hours telling you all about it. I think Jordan's going to do the talking on that Saturday at the event, telling everyone what we do. So I'll leave that to him. He loves to talk, so I won't take his limelight away from him. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm glad to see things are up and running again since COVID, and that we can all get in that space and kind of share what we're doing, share what's going on, and try and inspire some young people.
Yeah, no, definitely. Even as I said last year, I done it, but it was online. So as much as it was good, it was fun. Like obviously, I like to meet people, energy. You know what I'm like. I got to. So yeah, no, like obviously you can do that more and it should be really good.
Yeah, man, looking forward to it.
Excellent. I know your time's tight, Jermaine, so we will stop for now. So for all of those that are watching out there, Directional CIC will be at International Men's with maybe a few surprises. Am I right, Jermaine?
Maybe one or two. You know me, I like to bring a little surprise with me now and again.
Yeah.
Make sure he comes. So we look forward to that. And honestly, Jermaine, I want to thank you for all the work that you are doing in the community. And sometimes, as much as
people, there's nothing happening, we kind of know, and just doing the shows and the different things that we do, we try to give people platforms to showcase and let people be aware of the things that are going on. And that's why when we say share, it's like, your kids might not be interested, but then you've got somebody else. Well, why didn't you tell me? I know so and so, their kids would have been, or whatever. So it's so important that we just continue to share, continue to look out for one another.
Definitely, like you were saying, it takes a village, right?
It certainly does. It certainly does.
Yeah.
So
So well done for the
so
work
much.
you're still doing. It's good. It's good to see it still going.
Oh, bless you, darling. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, sorry, it's a quick one, but yeah.
No, don't worry, darling. Honestly,
All right.
thank you.
Take care, yeah. See you later.
Bye bye. Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm very proud of Jermaine. What he's achieved, and the fact he's been so consistent, as he said, 9 years. A lot of people do start some business ventures, sort of don't see success straight away and sort of give up, but he's kept going, and now he's even from football, he's doing other sports, dancing, multi-skill, like different things, because of course not everybody likes football. So, and of course, in terms of females, they might be interested in gymnastics, might be interested in different things. So, nice, it's brilliant, it's really, really good. So, I'm glad he's coming. Yeah, that's really
excellent. Excellent. Guess what? We've got another guest, Jordan. Now, I don't know if you met this young lady before. You may have done. You should have done. Do you recognise this young lady? Kinda. Not sure.
I know.
Not sure.
Familiar.
This is Olive. Olive Hickmott.
Hi there.
Olive, this is my son, Jordan.
Oh, hello, Jordan.
He's co-hosting the International Men's. I'm an oldie now, and as female, stepping back and passing on the baton. And yes, he's going to be hosting with another young man on the day. So,
But Dee, you're really panicking me there, because if you think you're old, God, I've definitely passed it.
Oh my gosh. No, you know what I mean. Jordan, I'm going to hand over to you to have a very brief. Olive, I don't want you to say too much, please,
Right.
because you're going to save it for the day. But you're just going to have just a brief little chat, Jordan, with Olive, just to find out what she does and what she's going to be sharing on the day.
Okay. So hi, Olive.
Let's drop you in, Jordan.
No, she always does this. I'm used to it. She got me at the hospital to begin with. But how are you? You okay?
I'm good, thank you. Yes.
Fantastic. So Olive, tell us a bit about yourself. But where are you from to begin with?
Oh, I live in Redbourne, only just down the road, and I'm a coach, a health and learning coach, and I work a lot with neurodivergent students who might be really quite small or might be adults. I think my oldest client was 80.
Wow.
So 4 to 8.
When you say neurodivergent, sorry to stop you. What does that mean?
It's a sort of blanket term for people who struggle with learning difficulties. So they might have diagnosed dyslexia or dyscalculia or ADHD or autism.
Wow. And what made you get into that?
Sorry, say that again, Jordan.
What made you get into that, if you don't mind me asking?
I would have been dyslexic, but I'm too old. They hadn't invented it in my day. And so I missed that one. And I was probably ADHD too. And I stumbled over some really useful skills for helping dyslexics. And I've been doing it for the last 22 years. And why I said to Dee I'd come on this session was there is a lot of adults, often males, who are absolutely ashamed of the fact they can't spell or read, and they're really embarrassed about it, and it really shouldn't be happening. It shouldn't be happening to kids, and it shouldn't still be happening to adults. Most of these people have got really good visual skills. So they've got, they're really good at something like, I don't know, taking motorbikes to pieces and putting them back together again.
Yeah.
Right?
They're more creative with their hands than maybe.
Absolutely. But they've got great images of, if you want to take a motorbike apart, you've got to keep an image of what it would look like in your head, so you can put it back together again. And people with great mental images quite often fall into the dyslexia trap, but they shouldn't do. It's actually a problem with the national curriculum, the way we teach kids, because we should be teaching kids to picture words, and we could be doing that to every 4-year-old. And I'm very happy at your session in a couple of weeks' time, whenever it is, to talk to people individually. Well, I think I'm doing some sort of chat, but I'm very happy to talk to people.
They're doing something. Don't worry, Olive. He'll definitely be there.
Happy to have a group of people and go, right, we'll teach you how to do this, because it's never too late. And I said to Dee, I'd blow up a few myths. One is people think that dyslexia and learning difficulties are genetic, and they are not. Having high visual skills is probably genetic. So if your mum and dad were really good at picturing things, you might well be good at it as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to be dyslexic.
No,
so
of course
I
not.
said I'd blow up a few myths like that. And people think it's once you've been diagnosed with it, which you might be diagnosed at the age of 7, then you think you've got it for life. Not true. I had dyslexia until I was 50. Wow. And I wouldn't be diagnosed as dyslexic anymore. So I'll give you a brief example that when I used to read, I mean, I got through school and then I did maths degree, but when I read, I actually went to sleep all the time, and I couldn't stay awake when reading. Now I can read I'll show you this book. I read it endlessly now. I read this book in a weekend, and it's several hundred pages long. 200 pages. And that is such a change for me, because I learned this skill, I taught myself, and then I taught other people. And what I'd like to do is on your day is to get to people who are ashamed of and embarrassed by what they can't do, and they've been like that ever since they were in school, and teach them how they can change things so they can do them.
For example, no, I absolutely love that, Olive. If everyone was there, I'd tell them to give you a round of applause now.
You can still do it.
Yeah, we all need to. It's a bit like, so basically, the mindset is, when we was all kids, we all tried to ride a bike. How many times did we fall off?
Yep.
But got back on, and most of us eventually learned to ride a bike. So it's sort of similar in that sense.
Actually, there's a really good analogy to bicycles and riding bicycles. The way they teach English, teach you to spell and read, is like you want to get on a bike, right? And before you're allowed to ride it, you've got to take it all apart. You've got to know exactly how the gears work and exactly how the brakes work and everything else about it before you're able to fly with riding it. What you actually want to do is get on and try it. And we've worked out how, with incredibly visual people, which in 22 years, I have all the people I've seen with diagnosed dyslexia are all really visual. So we know they've got this skill, and we can scaffold in words as well.
Amazing.
It
That's
is
amazing.
amazing, and I just put that post on there. It's a shame that Jermaine has gone, because Jermaine, the gentleman that was just speaking, Olive, is he's got a couple of pupil referral units. You know, where they're when young people are in
Yep.
school, not getting on at school, and obviously for different reasons, people end up not being in the education, that kind of educational setup, so to speak. But I believe, and I'd like to kind of like that there's a percentage of them that it's ADHD and all those kind of things. So it's not a case of they can't learn, but I'm just thinking the information that you are sharing, that you could potentially, in my head, I'm thinking like, I can imagine like pupil referral units, that type of thing, and you've got young people that they're being written off, aren't they?
You're totally right, Dee. I have not worked in pupil referral units, which is a great shame. I mean, I'm at the age now where I'm very happy to teach anybody how to do this, and they can go off and work in pupil referral units, as it were. I do most of the work with dyslexia, and to a large extent with ADHD as well, because ADHDers have got a different challenge with mental images. So if I can go, shall I explain that? They've got loads and loads of mental images in there running around in their head. So for example, if you're talking about the Eiffel Tower, their brain's gone into the centre of Paris. Now it's on the cross-channel ferry. Now it's in London, and now it's gone to a football match at Arsenal. So you're still talking about the Eiffel Tower, and they're talking about a football match at Arsenal. Not surprisingly, every teacher would say, if you've got a kid with ADHD, they do this movement from one place to another at lightning speed, and basically their middle name is distraction. And you can teach them how to get their mental images under control. So when they're being creative and doing something really creative and fun, they can have pictures flying around all over the place. But when they have to concentrate on a piece of work, we can teach them how to concentrate without taking drugs.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a proper wow, because it's that, what is it? Is it Ritalin? I can't remember what it's called.
Ritalin.
That's it. That's all you ever, well, that's all I ever heard. That's what we're going to do. We're going to throw it. Now, Olive, Jordan, do you want to just read the message that's just gone up, that I've just put up? Now, Leanne is a volunteer. She's part of the Simply Deez crew, and her partner, this is what she's, do you want to read it, Jordan, what she's written there?
Yeah. So, Leanne said, I am really keen to speak to this lady. She will be at International Men's Day, with a question mark. Yes, she will. She will. Jason thinks he has dyslexia, and we have been told it's over £500 for a test. He hasn't been able to join tonight as he is at college with Anaya till 8:30. So
right, I would tell you what my view is on spending a lot of money on a test. Right. Firstly, I don't do assessments. I'm a coach. Coaches don't do lots of tests on you and label you as something. This is what you are. Coaches go, what's your problem? How are you doing it? And what's causing you to have that problem? And can we do something about stopping it? So what I would always say to somebody who is thinking of going for a test is, please come on one of my free webinars or your International Day or whatever to check out whether your child has got mental images of words. So when you go to spell the word, can you two spell, by the way?
No. Yes.
Right, yeah. When you go to spell the word, how difficult am I going to make this? Lion, right?
That's the best word for him, actually.
Can you see the word?
Yeah, I can. But I love lions and that side of nature. So
right.
yeah.
Fine. if you're listening to this and you can't see the word lion, you haven't got mental images of words. And it's a completely teachable skill, especially to a little person who, how old is he?
Jason's not little. Jason's probably over 50.
Oh, that's all right. He's not older than my oldest client, who was 80. That's fine.
Ah.
But that is the trick. If you can't see words, then you are never going to be a fluent reader, and you are never going to be able to spell well. Because in 22 years, I have 100% rule that every single person I have met with dyslexia, and there have been thousands, is not visualizing words reliably. Okay. So they might be able to visualize a cat or a dog, but they can't visualize longer words. I mean, I had one lovely example recently. A little lad of 8, who was a neighbor, and his mum was talking about taking him for a test. And I said, can I just check with him whether he's visualizing words first? So we did that. And he went, yeah. And I went, okay, how do you spell giraffe? And he goes, G. And I went, ant? And he went, no, I only get one letter. So all his life, for 4 years, when he was trying to visualize words, he'd only got one letter of every word, which isn't very good. So I taught him how to get the rest of the letters, and he was flying.
I don't want you to say anymore. The reason being, sit tight for
26th of November.
Yes.
Put it in the diary. 26th of November.
They need
26th of November. Oh, do I get the opportunity to talk to people there?
Of course.
Right, okay.
You're going to have your own slot, Olive. You're going to be sitting there watching you. Nobody else is talking.
Okay, I'll have my own slot to talk to people, but then people can come around and actually try it out.
Be in a space where people can come and, definitely.
We'll make sure we have that for you. Well, not everyone, but
I really want to get rid of the amount of shame and embarrassment about dyslexia and ADHD, because it is a teaching problem, but it's not the teacher's fault because they haven't been told. It's a national curriculum problem.
I need to bring on our deputy head. Do you see how things just align?
He hasn't got a shotgun in his hand. It's all right.
I don't know. Greetings, the lovely Stuart. Greetings. Thank you so much for jumping on, darling, because I know you've been busy. Everyone's been busy, so I'm really grateful. Everybody's found a little bit of time to jump on. So I take it you've heard some of what Olive's been saying?
I've just caught the back end of it. Very interesting, Olive. Can't wait to meet up and have a good chat.
Very good. Very good.
I'm sure there'll be lots of commonalities between what we do say and how we do think. As much as I work in the education sector, but there are a lot of things that work very well, and there are a lot of things that don't. So I'm sure we can have a good chinwag about that and catch up.
Stuart, are you in primary or secondary?
I'm in primary.
Oh, lovely.
That's it. Game over, Stuart. Game over.
That's where it all starts.
Catch them early, Olive. That's
absolutely.
Great. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Olive, I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to do a quick one of those. You're both going to be there on the 26th, so there'll be plenty of time, and that's what we want you guys to be able to do, is to exchange, to connect, and then obviously with what you're doing, and certainly Stuart being in a primary school, I'm sure there's things that can be shared. So Olive, for now, thank you so much for taking time out, darling, and I'll catch up with you tomorrow.
Yeah. Great. And by the way, if you tell Jamal, you can slot what I do into what he's doing as well.
That's what I was thinking. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.
Changing lives. Thank you so much, darling.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Stuart.
Good evening.
Good evening. Do you know who this young man is?
I believe he's one of yours, isn't he? one of yours.
He certainly is, Stuart. He certainly is. So, as you know, this is a special show I'm doing. We're just doing a little bit of a teaser leading up to next week. So I am going to be a backseat driver.
Oh. Nice.
And yes, and this young man is going to be one of the co-hosts. The young people are coming through now, so he's going to be hosting, and I'm going to now step off. So don't say too much, Stuart, because this is just a little tease. But Jordan's going to have a little chat with you, and then I'll come back on at the end. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Mum. Thank you, Stuart. How are you?
Yeah, good, Jordan. Good. It's been a busy day.
Has it? What subject do you teach?
Me, I'm the deputy head at the school. So
you're deputy head on that. Sorry, yeah.
No, so I don't currently teach my own class as such, but I do jump in and cover classes as and when. So at the moment, I'm not teaching, but from time to time, I'm jumping around from the little ones up to the older ones. So keeping my hand in.
Yeah. Who gives you the most trouble?
The staff.
Yeah. I like that.
Never the kids, Jordan. Never the kids.
No, of course not. Kids can't do anything wrong, especially those ages. They're just It's all fun for them. My daughter's literally, she's just started reception, so yeah, she's 5 in December, so she's honestly every day she's got something to tell me about primary school. Loves it.
That's where the magic happens down there, Jordan.
Yeah.
Every time I'm in with the little ones, it is full of magic. Moments everywhere happening. It's incredible.
No, that's amazing. How long have you been, in the school, sort of?
Well, I started many moons ago. This is my 32nd year in teaching. So I've seen a lot over the years. Things come, things go, things change, things reappear, things disappear. But I've had the benefit of sort of witnessing what we do with young people over many decades now, and things have changed dramatically for young people. So it's been an interesting journey.
Yeah, what would you say the biggest changes really
I would say
now?
Well, we've gone, when I started, Jordan, if you can imagine, and I'm not sure you can imagine, but a world with no internet, so no social media, no technology. Most houses, I have to say, had a television if they were lucky. There'd be a transistor radio, and so on.
In my room. Yeah.
So I sort of grew up in a generation where what went on within your life remained your private life, and it was that major word, private, which I just don't feel that the young people of today will ever experience. I don't think that the world that they're currently being sort of growing up in is allowing these young people to develop as themselves before they are put into a world where they're watched, they're listened to, they're contactable 24/7. The pressure, stigmas, and we see the impact of that on children as young as 6-7 years old, and it's incredible, really, just to see how much the world has changed and what sort of impact that has on the youth of today, especially. It's intriguing. It is intriguing. Lots of benefits. Don't get me wrong. I'm not just a bringer of doom and gloom. There are loads and loads of benefits to it.
Do you think technology in schools has helped them?
Very much so, yeah. Because again, we get the opportunity then to show them the benefits, but we also get the opportunity to show them some of the dangers and the darker corners where a lot of the the influence on young people takes place. So we're able to sort of raise awareness more than anything. We make them better at understanding what they're using and how they're using it, which prepares them a little bit more, gives them a few tools in the toolkit to make even better decisions for themselves.
No, I was just very curious because I know I've got an 11-year-old as well, and he's got a laptop that he brings home, and they do homework on laptops. And when I was in school, that wasn't that wasn't the case. So, obviously that's high school, but still, I was interested to see how the benefits are and sort of the privileges of being a deputy head with primary schools. That's still the same.
Honestly, I mean, we give them access now to Chromebooks, which they get throughout the week in all different types of lessons. They have interactive headphones. They've got the virtual reality headsets, so we can take them on journeys all over the world. We've got digital cameras, video cameras, green screens. They've got their own YouTube channels. So we basically are embracing what's out there, bringing it into the school, and letting the children get really good at understanding how to use it properly, so that they actually get the benefits out of it. The danger is that they're left unregulated just to bounce around and find things for themselves, and they end up finding 9 times out of 10 they'll find the wrong stuff, and it's just not helpful. It just doesn't gear them up for using it as a tool to really give them a big boost in life, which it can do. We've seen the benefits of it. I mean, we've invested a lot of time and money and energy getting this into school. A lot of training, especially for us older people, to keep up to date with the youth of today, because the things that they can do on it. I'm really happy to say I can do most of those things, but it takes me probably 25 times longer than it does. But it's interesting because I think if I lived in a world that they live in today, the endless possibilities that are out there for people are amazing, absolutely amazing. When I went to my careers day when I was a youngster back I remember going in and walking up to the tweed suit and saying, "What do you think I should be?" And he just looked at me and went, "Army." And that was the end of the conversation. So I had to go out and talk to people to find out what else was available to people my age then in that world. Whereas today, now you can Google just about absolutely anything. And the level of information at your fingertips is just mind-boggling. But if you want to go and work in certain professions now, you can research that and find it and YouTube it and watch people doing it and talking about it. And you can learn things online now. So it can prepare you for the future. But back in my day, I think I got the best out of the two options that were given to me, put it that way.
Oh no, it's brilliant. Go on, Mum.
Do you know what I want to just say, Stuart? Because what I've done on my profile, or my background profile pic, I've taken a picture of yourself and some of the other speakers that are going to be at the International Men's, and that's actually on my backdrop picture. And there's a young lady, I don't know if you've read it yet, my kid's deputy, Mr. Cowie, such a lovely man. My son went through a challenging time for a long time, and honestly, this man helped my son so much.
It's nice to hear. Nice to hear.
That's amazing to hear, Stuart. That's what it's all about. So that's the flowers that you're not going to get a pat on the back every day, but that's something.
No, and to be honest, Jordan, we do this job, and as much as it's advertised that we get lots and lots of benefit.
I don't know who that is on the background there. Sorry.
But the benefits, honestly, are those little nuggets. That's the golden moments. That's the thing that keeps you going for over 30 years. It's knowing that you're making a difference and trying every day to have that impact on people's lives, and that's what we do it for.
Very much.
Because
when you hear
I think, sorry, Mum, just touch on. I think remembering how I was in school, the respect I have for anybody who is a teacher, anybody who works in a school with kids, and being a parent, to do it full time as a profession, I genuinely take my hats off. You're up there with the fire brigade and do you know what I mean? You're up there with those people, and you know what I mean? You deal with hospitals, and it's a profession that doesn't get as much recognition as it should I say?
I tell you what, it's lovely to hear. It is lovely to hear, but I'm going to be really brutally honest. Okay, it's a paid job. It's a paid job, and we turn up, we earn our money. And the thing for me is teaching is about the right people being in the right place at the right time. For many, many years, Jordan, teaching had a lot of round pegs in square holes. And what the teaching profession is trying to do is obviously put the right shapes in the right holes, to be honest. And what I mean by that is you have to be a certain type of person to be able
to doing it for 30 odd years. So what you was getting paid when you started to what you're getting paid now, I'm sure obviously is a bit different. But
it is,
for you to stay and to keep going shows the type of person. Exactly what I was basically trying to say.
It is. There's a degree of perseverance, resilience, but you have to get out of bed in the morning and you have to know that you're going to go to school today and you've got one opportunity in that day to make something special happen for someone.
Well done.
It's not going to work every day. You're not going to get everybody across the line, but you can make a difference for one child that day. Then it's all been worthwhile. And it's about looking for those moments and maximizing that opportunity. And again, it takes a certain type of person. I mean, I know some absolutely superb by the textbook teachers. They can deliver the curriculum. They can get children through exams and whatever. Are they the type of person that you'd want teaching your children? Probably not, because there's a degree of compassion missing. There's a degree of warmth. There's a degree of those little special qualities where you actually have an impact. That you have Jordan sitting there now at his age, actually talking about teachers that have either had an impact or teachers that he remembers or he enjoyed going for that teacher. But you'll also remember the teachers that he didn't get on well with. He didn't the ones that him up the wrong way, the ones that sent him off to learning, because they exist. And unfortunately, they still exist today. But what we're trying to do now is we really try to find those people with those little special qualities that can go that extra mile and just deliver, make that relationship with the children magic. And that's what we look for, really.
Nah, spot on, Stuart. Absolutely spot on. When you said even my age, I remember a teacher. I'll never forget him. He was my year 6. I think he was assistant head at the time as well. Mr. O'Donnell. I'll never forget him. Never. He was he was just incredible. Like, obviously I was played football and he was the PE teacher, so of course we had a close relationship. But even outside of that, and do you know what I mean? The things he would say and just make you feel good. Do you know what I mean? To the point where you're like, he genuinely cares. Do you know what I mean? He genuinely cares. And I was young, but you know what I mean? You were 10, 11, but even now you still think that guy was a really good guy. Really, really good guy. Heart of gold. Do you know what I mean? So, and when you get messages from parents, do you know what I mean? It shows, you're there for a reason. Do you feel it's your purpose, Stuart?
I do actually, yeah. I mean, I joined it because it was a vocation. It was something I loved doing. It was something which I could see myself actually helping people. So yeah, it was something I went into, and if I'm honest, that hasn't really gone away.
Yeah.
It is literally, that's the motivator, really. It's the helping people. And I turn up and I see a room full of faces or a hall full of faces, and they're not all on the same sort of level playing field. They've all got different barriers, different issues, different problems, different personalities, different characteristics, different family backgrounds. And that's the challenge. It's giving them all the same opportunities to engage, to have fun, to learn, and to build on who they are, or just to recognize who they are and where they fit in. What is their purpose, you know? So giving them an identity and giving them a purpose is, and that goes from every single child who's looking back at you. It's that they all deserve an opportunity, and even the ones that throw those opportunities away, you keep going back, and you keep doing another one and another one and another one.
Yeah,
that's the job
until the penny drops, should we say? But that's what you're there for. And the feeling, that's why I kind of wanted to know if it's your purpose. But I knew it was, but I wanted to sort of get your perspective on it. But no, let's not give them too much though, Stuart.
No, plenty more to come. Plenty more to come.
But no, it's definitely been good chatting to you and sort of you coming on, and like I said, it's going to be a good day, because even somebody looking at you might not want to be a teacher or never thought about being a teacher will listen to you and think, you know what, I want to help people, I want to change people's day, I want to be a difference in their life. Well, have you looked at being a teacher? What's your favorite subject? What do you like? And it's that's why it's inspiring for me anyway. Mummy there. I know she's gonna let me rub it on.
Yeah, I'm on my phone because my laptop's switched off. Stuart, you are absolutely amazing. There is so much more. And when you sort of like say, for instance, in many instances, when you talk to people when they're elder, like us, Stuart, not Jordan's age, but elder, and and you talk to them about their school days and exactly what you've sort of said. You've got some teachers that literally have inspired the young person, believed in them and gave them that belief for them to do certain things in life. And then on the other hand, you hear stories of where young people, or well, elder people say that the school days were the worst days, and there may have been things or some things that are said that has just remained with them, and you don't realise the impact. That's why words are powerful, and they can harm.
100%. I mean, all sorts of different issues, but one of the most common ones that we get, one of the biggest barriers for a lot of young people is, my dad was rubbish at maths at school.
So I'm rubbish at maths at school. Yeah.
But you'd never tell your children that, ever.
Yeah, you just wouldn't, would you?
No.
Yeah.
You're the role model in their life. You're the support mechanism. You're the one, the inspiration. You're the godlike father figure. They look up to you.
The superhero.
Yeah,
but
you are.
You know what I found, Stuart, that as in terms of parenting, I think people automatically think a child is born and everybody should know what to do.
Yeah.
There is, because I used to say, if there was a manual, I don't care how much it costs, I'm sure we all would have somehow got hold of one. Something's happened, turn to page 52. This is what you do.
Yeah.
And some people believe, and I know for a fact, that it's a school's job to teach the child. It's not me as a parent. So my friend who was like reception, like where Jordan's, my granddaughter's at, they're coming in, and in reception you probably find, and they don't know the please and the thank yous. And these are basics that should be learning at home, and you should know going into school, but you guys are having potentially to teach those things because they're not being taught certain things at home. So I think as parents, as carers, we need to be doing more and not just leave it down to you guys as teachers. Anything that goes wrong, it's your fault. Anything that's right, that's me teaching my child. You know, we acknowledge that. When it's wrong, we blame the school. Am I right?
You're not wrong, right? You're definitely not wrong. No. Again, I think depending on which newspaper you read, it's either the school's fault or it's the parents' fault. When in actual fact, what people seem to overlook is that it's teamwork.
Yes.
And we need to work together. Otherwise, you know, if one element's working really, really hard at something and the other one isn't, then clearly there's going to be issues and gaps, and you know, things are going to fall through the net. But I mean, the way forward is communication, making sure that everyone's got the same perspective on what we're trying to achieve. And I think we spend a long time with, especially when the little ones come into reception, we spend a long time running workshops and getting parents in to show them what we do and how we do it and how we go about it, so that we can just sort of like say, look, this is the routines, this is what we do, this is the information we're going to be sharing and how we're going to teach the children this thing. And to be honest, a lot of the parents then go away and have a go, they have a try. They try to support by, oh, look, this is how they were teaching how to do the reading. Let's have a go at this. And again, when that sort of magic sparks off, you see these children go from quite a low level to rapidly rising, because there's this teamwork, this joint effort. And I think realistically, it's the only way it's going to get better. We can't rely on schools to do it. We can't just rely on parents to do it. I think there's a huge difference in parenting 25 years ago to parenting today. And like you say, Dee, a lot of those pearls of wisdom were passed down from mums to mums to mums over the years. But mums and mums and mums are getting younger and younger and younger and younger. And they've have no real life experience to draw on themselves. So when they look at the toolkit to find what can I use for this situation, the toolkit's got very little in it. And generally that's what we're finding is parents need support as much as the children. So again, lots of initiatives run not just by ourselves, but lots of other local charities, organizations, just to try and support parents in especially the much younger ones, because they haven't got a network to fall back on. They haven't got the tools in the toolkit. And they look at us and they think, well, how can school help? Well, in actual fact, we can help in many, many different ways. If it's from putting shoes on feet to coats on backs to food in bellies, we can help in lots of ways. And we can connect people, putting them in touch with the right people to talk to, get the right support when they need it. And building those relationships is key. It's that trust, it's respect, it's everything that we want in, you know, that idyllic community spirit. It's that, and it's going back to that, and making sure that people know that we are there to support. We're not there to report and cause issues. We're there to actually put people in touch with the right people. And I think moving forward, there needs to be an awful lot more of that. Otherwise, we are going to be ultimately further down the line, we will be failing families, not just failing children. Especially when we've got, you know, 5 or 6 children coming through from the same family, and we don't get it right with the first couple of siblings, then unfortunately history repeats itself. Unless we break that cycle, it's just going to keep repeating itself, and we're just adding to the problem. So big responsibility, and I think everyone needs to sort of hold their hands up and say, look, we all need to work together on this. We need to actually accept the responsibility, and we actually need to realize that we're accountable. And that's everybody. It's everybody's responsibility to bring up this next generation. We can't all just point fingers and say, no, it's you've got to do it, you've got to do it. No, we've all got to roll the sleeves up. We've all got to roll the sleeves up and get on with it.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree with you. I think Jordan may be having technical problems. I'm not sure. Shelley, do you want to just jump on, because we are going to be kind of rounding up now? Isn't this young man? He probably didn't realise when we met Daniela. It's a case of, oh, she's a writer. That's why, and I'm just the photographer guy in the background, and didn't realise last year, Stuart, you were online, International Men's, and I'm like, let's see if we can get him in person. Let's see if we can get him in person. So, so for those that are watching, because this is early for us, trust me, this is super, super early. Stuart will be one of our guest speakers at International Men's on the 26th of November. It is going to be an absolutely incredible day. Before you were online, I think, were you there in 2019 or 2018? Did you meet Stephen before? The barrister?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
That was 2019, which was our last event in person, our last International Men's event in person. And yeah, an incredible man. Yeah, so he was on earlier on today. He was actually on a case, wasn't he, Shell?
Yeah. Tremendous.
In the middle of doing his paperwork, I'll just jump on and say hi.
Yeah, I didn't want to let Dee down. And we're like, what? Yeah. And yes, so not hosting. Going to be there, Stuart, not hosting. Jordan, if you're still there. Yep.
I'm still there. Sorry, I'm still there. My battery was going.
That's okay, darling. That's okay. We're going to be co-hosting. We're going to be bringing the young people in. We're going to be bringing the older people in.
Yeah.
Because we can learn from the young. Am I right, Stuart? I'm sure you learn from the young people.
Every single day. And it's not from the posh courses and the posh people that come in the suits. They're not the people you learn from. You learn from everyone around you. And I'm surrounded by 400 children. And honestly, I learn something new every single day. It's incredible.
See, and we need to be open.
Yeah.
To me, we need to be open to that. So I'm going to just wrap up. Stuart, thank you so much. I'll speak to you anyway before then, but otherwise we will see you next Saturday. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for the invite.
No, not at all. Thank you.
See you all soon.
Thanks, Stuart.
Darling.
Take care, folks.
All right, bye-bye.
Oh. Whoops.
It's all right, Shell. I don't mind you ejecting me. I don't mind. So, that's just giving you a little flavour, Jordan.
Pardon?
That's just giving you a little flavour of what's
unexpected as always, but it's fine.
On the 26th. Well, it was a case of some of them you knew, some of them you didn't know. So having the conversation and, they've met you now. So it is going to be absolutely incredible on the 26th. For those that are still on, because we still have people watching. Carisha, is a young man in bed? Carisha, are you there? Is that Kashai? Hello? This is our youngest. You know, the entrepreneur? That's if he's not in bed. Or whether it's his mum, I don't know. She's just... Who's that? There he is.
I'm starving, Mum, to be honest.
Hi, Kashai.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Did you see that young man that just went off? That was the deputy head teacher, Stuart, who you was talking to last year. Do you remember him?
No.
Okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. So it must be nearly your bedtime now, right?
No, it's my bedtime already. I just have to stay up early.
Does Mum know you're up?
Yeah. My mum always gives me an early break and sleep time. I want to stay up till 9.
Okay.
It's 9 now.
It's nearly 9. Oh, it's nearly 9. So this
Bless
young
you.
man, Jordan, I'm sure you may have
We met last
before.
time. We hosted together, didn't we, at the last event?
Yes.
We did, and he had
So,
to go. Bless
Kashai,
him.
do you want to quickly tell him who you are at all?
My name's Kai, and I'm 9. I'm a business owner. I started my business in 2019, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Shy's Homemade Lemonade.
And what do you sell?
Lemonade in 5 flavors.
How many flavors?
5.
Can you name the 5 flavors?
I forgot some of them.
Blue raspberry,
blue raspberry, grape, and
watermelon,
pineapple, and
strawberry.
Oh my gosh! Are you going to be bringing all those flavors next week?
Yeah.
Ah! You scared me, Kashai. You scared me. So thank you very much, and we're going to look forward to seeing you next week. All right?
Okay.
All right. See you later, darling. Good night.
You're so crazy. The whole world's watching you with those teeth in.
Oh, wow. All right. Thank you very much, Kashai. We'll see you next week, darling. All right. Bye-bye.
What did I say?
Shall we get Kashai to say a prayer before he leaves? Take your teeth out. He needs to practice his praying skills.
If he's going to, then yeah.
Go on then, Shai.
No.
Give us all the praise to help us sleep well at night.
You're forcing me now. I don't know any prayers.
Say it from your heart.
Just tell me one. Just tell me one.
Okay, do Our Father then.
Our Father. What would you tell me?
Go to bed then. Yeah.
No.
Say bye to everyone.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Thank you, darling.
I'm going to have some marshmallows.
Okay. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's going to be incredible. Incredible. So we have got Ricky Hill, ex-Luton Town, England, author, coach, manager, entrepreneur, and a load of other stuff that we're going to find out. He's going to be opening the event next week, Saturday. That is at 10:30 a.m. Saturday, the 26th. I was going to say March 26th of November. At 10:30 a.m. If you come later, you may miss him. We're going to get our pictures, aren't we, Shell and Jordan? We're going to get our pictures. We're going to get his autograph. We're going to get everything. So if you're late, you're going to miss out. We've also got Jordan Thomas. Who's Jordan Thomas, Jordan?
Oh, you're muted. Hang on.
That's me. I think you took it off and I put it.
Luton-born GB World Champion.
No way.
Rati. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. Pretty much anti-Joshua, but in karate.
And he's now doing taekwondo. We had him on the show, I think it was last week, and he's got a little one as well. And so he's going to be joining us. Earlier, we had the lovely Brandon Abraham, 20 years of age. Jordan, it's a shame.
Lex Lewis Hamilton.
But most definitely, you'll get to meet him. And if he tells you, well, if you watch this back, his discipline is something else. Absolutely incredible for a 20-year-old, but it's just that belief and that he just knows that he needs to do certain things to then be in the right, give himself the best opportunity he possibly can. So we've got him also as well. My machine's crashed. Oh my gosh. We've got service providers. Who have we got coming, Shell? I can't remember.
They're all going to be there.
Yeah. We've got Samaritans. We've got Luton Wellbeing. We've got Recovery College. Because they always then end up coming in through all together. We've possibly got the Ollie Foundation. If not, you've got me instead.
Yeah.
You've got
We've got
a couple of
sexual health. I
exhibitors.
think we've got Flying Start also as well.
Yeah.
We've just heard from the lovely Kashai, who is 9 years of age. We also have a young man called John Cheetham. Look him up. Follow us, follow us, follow us. John is 84. 84 years of age. He's just re-released his book. He is a singer. He's still touring. He came back from Germany last week. He's 84 and still touring. So you need to reach. You need to reach. Please, please, please. We're not going to sort of like long it out. We're going to be going off air now. The information is on the pages. Please share. Please tag. There will be, Shelley, how do you word it? On the day, there is going to be sensitive material that's going to be shared.
Disclaimer.
Yeah.
And so we will be giving those warnings.
Trigger warnings, but we don't particularly like that word, but yes.
Yeah. So we will be giving that because it is proper real talk. Some of it, do you know what? If I'm honest with you, you may feel a little uncomfortable. And the reason you're feeling uncomfortable is because you don't want to hear it. And we're all very much kind of, I don't want to know, I don't want to hear. But certain things are happening out there. We've got the lovely, how could I forget? We've got the lovely Rita James, one of the Simply Deez crew. And she is going to be sharing on behalf of her son. And that is a whole something, Jordan. You remember Rita, don't you, Jordan? She's a Peppa Pig lady. Well, she's not Peppa Pig, but she bought Peppa Pig lady. That's how you remember her. But she's going to be sharing something that her son's given her that she can read out on the day, so that he is going to be part of the event. So it is going to be, the best. It's going to be the best. We want you to be there. So men, apparently you don't talk, but guess what? You do. You do. So the things that you may potentially be carrying around and not wanting to say and not to share, there's going to be guys that are going to actually be sharing those same things that you don't know how to, or maybe you want to. So the women out there, we need to be there. We need to listen. We need to learn and to understand. Because sometimes we say we're listening, and do you know what? We're not. We're not. So we've laboured this. We've told you, we've asked you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. All of the events, all that we do is all on there. We've got some amazing people. We've not listed everybody today, but if you want to know more, you know what to do. Follow us. Saturday, the 26th of November, in person, and the event is free. FREE, free to attend. There's no excuse. And we are doing this in partnership, can't forget, with Marsh Farm Future. So we thank them once again this year. I think this is about our 4th, 5th year actually there. I'm not going to say any more. I'm Dee Bailey. I'm going to be in the background because handing it over to the young man. And we're handing it over. And this is what we do, passing the baton on. And I'm thrilled, to be honest with you, more than ready, because the last one, Jordan's going like, I thought I was going to speak, Mum. I'll never forget that. And I'm like, oh gosh, because it just went so quick and it was just crazy. And this time, not only speak, one is going to be co-hosting. So I think that is just awesome. And you keep it real your way, and you do it your way, okay?
I will.
So is there
everybody put their seatbelts on.
Isn't that what I say, Shell?
Everybody buckle up.
You've got to strap in, hold on tight.
Yeah.
They go like, we're not going on a fairground. And it's like, trust me, it's going to be a roller coaster. It's going to be, as Jordan, what did you say earlier on? You said there's going to be laughter, didn't you?
There's
Which
going to be
there will be.
laughter. There's
gonna
going
be laughter.
to be a lot of emotions. All the emotions, laughter, pain, all of it. We're going to, like Mum said, you're going to feel uncomfortable at times. But that's not a bad thing. It's not always a bad thing, because you're surrounded by people with good hearts. Everybody who's come there has come off the back of their own heart for whatever reason they've come. And they've come to support and come to listen, and come to share, more importantly. So yeah, enjoy the laughter, enjoy the cries, enjoy it all. Enjoy it all, because that's just what life's about, and that's why it's International Men's Day. Behind every good man is a good woman. So don't feel like if you're a woman you shouldn't be there. Come and support the men. And men, rise up. That's all I've got to say. That's all I've got to say. See you on the 26th. See you on the 26th of November. We'll be there. Yeah, can't wait.
Excellent. Thank you, Shell. I don't think there's anything more to say, is there? He's ended it absolutely superbly. Thank you so much, Jordan. Seriously, thank you. Thank you. So I know you're starving. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, I'm starving. Yeah.
I think we heard your stomach rumbling at some point.
The phone was not the problem.
Yeah, in it.
The stomach
I was checking on the food.
Yeah. So so no problem. Thank you so much. We're out of here, guys. So that's it for tonight's International Men's Day special. Real Talk is Simply Deez. We will see you on the 26th of November. Please, please, please. The least you can do. Say, for instance, for whatever reason you may not be.
It starts at 10 o'clock for those who haven't put their clock back yet. No, I'm only joking. All right. Oh gosh. Yeah. You don't want to miss Ricky.
Exactly. Tell them.
You don't want to miss Ricky. But yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah. All right.
I'm out. Signing out. Everyone have a good evening.
Will do.
Enjoy. Wrap up. It's cold.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, darling. Bye. I can't remember what I was saying now because he slightly threw me. So we will be back. Well, Simply Together show this coming Tuesday, which will be the 22nd, and then the main event is Saturday, 26th of November. I don't think anybody's got any excuses. Do you, Shell? Not got any excuses.
No, we need the. Quite often, whenever people say they're doing a men's event or a women's event, it's like it's only them. But we've never ever done that, other than the ladies' soiree. But we've never, all of our international men's days, women's days, it is the mix. You need the mix. You need to be supporting each other. You need to hear the stories from someone else's point of view. So yes, we all need to be supporting together, young and old.
Exactly. And you heard the age range. We're talking, it's probably younger, but you've got Kashai, who was just on, who is 9. And the eldest I know of so far, who's certainly participating, is John Cheetham, and he's 84.
Yeah.
So we are bringing the ages together because we can learn from the young ones.
Yeah.
And vice versa. We want them to learn from us, but we got to remember we can also learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
We can also learn from them. So we are out of here. We have got so much to do. We do need some volunteers actually on the 26th of November because it is going to be very busy, very, very, very busy. So we've got a few volunteers, but I need a few more. So if you've got some time, it doesn't have to be for the whole day, but any support, help will actually do. We are going to be raising funds on that day. We're going to be raising funds for Simply Deez and also a young man. And Shelley, do you want to just give him a minute, crank it down to a minute, and then what we will do, we will promote that, and however we kind of do that on the day so that everyone knows we just do so many different things, and we're supporting this young man who has, trust me, has helped us out so many occasions recently. So yeah.
Yes, my nephew, for want of a better word, Jake, he's followed his mum's footsteps and my footsteps, and gone through scouting. Having an autistic brother has made him a very caring person, very caring young man. And he's gone into scouting, he's doing his young leaders, but most importantly, he's doing his Duke of Edinburgh Award and the Chief Scouting Award, because those two can actually run together. He was hoping, because he was wanting to get it through quite quickly, because he had certain plans that he wanted it all done before his GCSEs and things. So he was hoping to be one of the last ones for the Queen Scout Award, but as we then know, that can't happen. So he could very well be, because there's the ones that are passing through now, we're not entirely sure. I think they're going to be the first year of the King Scout Award. He will be like the second lot, if you like, of receiving a King Scout Award, and he will do it. There's certain tasks that you've got to do. There's life skills and things that you do, and part of it is the expedition. Now, he does do this through scouting, but they're not as quick as he wants to be. So last time when he did his silver award, bronze award, because he's working towards his silver now. When he did his bronze award, we actually paid privately to do his exhibition for his silver. And that was a couple of £100. To do his gold, because it's such a big thing, so it's the gold award in scouting, and then sort of like this, so he becomes the King Scout, and then the gold award in Duke of Edinburgh will cost a little bit more to do an exhibition. Exhibition, that's not the right word. Expedition. So he has been helping out to pay for his last one, where we sort of gave him the money, and he was then helping out at the stall. So during the summer, you would have seen a young man with us helping out on the stall and basically running the stall. I think there was a few times where Dee went one way, I went the other, and Jake's just, yeah, I could do it. It's not a problem. So so to do his volunteer work that he does a lot, everything he's been doing, he's been adding up the extra hours, working for us. So to be able to get him through to the end that he wants to do, and I'm so incredibly proud, because also on Sunday, it being Remembrance Sunday, he went down to the town hall as part of the service down there. So you do the parade. When he got there, apparently they said, no, we're not having the normal scouting flag. We're only having the district flag. Now, bearing in mind, there was two district flags for Luton at the Luton Town Hall on Sunday. And in the end, they came up and gave it to Jake. So Jake was one of the only two scouts that was carrying flags in amongst the Army cadets, the RAF cadets, and the Royal British Legion flags. He was the only one that was parading with the flags right at the very front. So you would have seen his picture on like the Love Luton websites and all that kind of stuff when they were sort of announcing, sort of like showing you the pictures from Remembrance Parade. So
brilliant. So that's also just some of the things that we do that people aren't really kind of aware of. They're like, right, okay, they just do events, don't they? I think that's what Simply Deez do. There's so much more. So if you want to even get involved or find out more of what we do and maybe how we can help and support, if that's coming on a show, if that's supporting by attending an event,
we always know someone that knows someone that knows someone.
A lot of signposting.
Always, yeah.
And that was fab what Leanne posted, because Jason is due to be, I hope you're listening and watching, Jason. Don't think I have to forgetting you. I ain't forget you. And I've just messaged Leanne. I just wanted to say apologies, Jason, because I did say he's over 50, something like that. The next minute I thought, Oh my giddy aunt. When Leanne corrected me, you're not quite 50 yet. Sorry, didn't mean to age you. You know I love you. You know I love you. So yeah, we are gone. We've got so much to do. We are proper buzzing.
And don't be surprised if we turn up at a craft fair that you're not expecting us to be at this
Yeah.
Christmas.
What are they doing there? They're
Yeah.
everywhere. Damn right. Yeah, we are. We are. We're proud. And so, and the likes of Trish, because we saw Trish on Sunday, and all the other parts of the Simply Deez crew, sending our love. Whilst I remember, sending much love to two of our colleagues, Teresa and Helen, whose mum passed away, sadly passed away last week. So we've sent condolences already, but do you know what? We're here and we're sending that out to them also again, and anybody else that's going through a difficult time right now. So we are gone. Things to do. Love you all. I'm looking forward to seeing, that young man that I linked up with on Sunday.
Oh, right. Okay, yes.
Linked up with on Sunday. So I will be liaising with him. You know me, got his number. And when I hugged him, he's like looking at me, he's like shaking his head. And I'm like, why are you shaking your head? And it's like receiving so much warmth from somebody that he'd never met before and he doesn't actually know. And you kind of saw him, Shell, and he changed in the period of time that I was talking. He changed. When I say changed, I mean just as in like, he said he suffered with like kind of anxiety and a few other things. And all I'm trying to say right now is you just never know your reaction to somebody, the impact it can have. That was a hug. It was a proper motherly hug. Squash him up, squeeze him up. He's thinking like, rah, what is wrong with you? But it was like, yeah. He goes, I don't talk to people.
Yeah.
It's certainly people I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the things that you learn if you do sort of like with the Ollie Foundation with some of their courses and opening up to talk to people. You'd be surprised that when you work out that all you need to do to anyone is just have that eye contact, that split second of a morning or afternoon, you're right, and you don't need to get into a big long conversation. But that eye contact, that are you okay, can mean the world of difference to someone else. You just have no clue of what they're feeling on that particular day. No clue at all. They could be a million miles away.
Yep.
So many thoughts going through their head, and someone's snapped them back out of it by saying hello.
Yeah.
I get it a lot anyway because I'm dog walking first thing in the morning. So it is the morning. You're walking down the road. They're laughing because I'm telling the dog off. There's that kind of a conversation that anyone tends to have. It doesn't have to be between dog walker and dog walker. But to have that conversation of a morning, you really don't know just how much of a difference that can make. And just having that conversation or listening. And it is difficult to do proper listening because you're quite often listening to try to reply to someone. That's what the human psyche wants you to do, and it's not the best. It is the listening, and I'm carrying on listening, so we can actually have that conversation of, no, are you really okay? Kind of come out from someone.
So as we're talking, and I know we said we're rounding up, but I remembered something else. What is happening on Sunday?
This Sunday. This Sunday, after having like a big long weekend, I thought, what? No, Sunday morning, I've booked in for another Mental Health Mates walk. Mental Health Mates is a national charity, set up by Bryony Gordon. If you know of her, that like on the internet, and writes books and stuff about mental health and drinking problems. She decided to one weekend over lockdown, I'm going out for a walk. I'm not particularly too great. If anyone wants to meet me, come and meet me, kind of thing. It worked. It's now a national thing. And did used to be one walks in Luton, but for some unknown reason it stopped. But I've now decided to carry it on. And it's got nothing to do with keep fit or anything like that. It is literally going for a wander around a park that's with like-minded people. If you wanted to talk, you can, because it's peer-to-peer support. So if you wanted to talk, or even if you just don't want to talk and you just need to be out with someone,
you're not on your own. Yeah,
you're not on your own. Just to get you, it's literally just for you to be up and out of the house. It doesn't matter what you look like either. If you just had one of those rough mornings and you just need to be out there,
mornings.
Yeah, you just out, just a quick stroll. We're doing it at Birmingham Park, so that's the park that's like behind Sainsbury's and like near to Keach. So it's got a hard footpath all the way round. Meeting at the end of that footpath that comes out from Sainsbury's at 11 o'clock. And I said it is just a stroll, really easy stroll. What's that face for, Dee?
So Shay Titmus, because yeah, I'm going like Tishi.
Ah, yes.
Because oh gosh, I don't even know if I can read it. The only reason I say that is because I didn't have my glasses. Okay. Okay, the one I'm going to read is My Emotions. Gosh, if I can read it. Have you got it? You haven't got it, have you? Yes, you have. Yeah. Can you read it?
My Emotions.
Yeah, I think that'd be nice.
So do you want to explain who Tishi is to anyone that's not?
Yeah, so Tishi is my niece and part of the Simply Deez Events crew / posse. That's it.
So she's been really getting into doing her poetry. This one's called My Emotions. My emotions are mine and mine alone. My emotions are raising up on top of me, and I'm struggling to catch my breath. I'm struggling to let my emotions out and free my heart. My emotions are my weakness and my strength, and sometimes I cannot control them. My emotions are very real, and I feel my different emotions every day, and they change daily. I don't always know what to do with my emotions, so I try to push my emotions down, but they raise right up, and sometimes my emotions eat me up and I explode the wrong way. My emotions come when I see something or listening to certain kind of music and songs and songs. My emotions come when I don't expect to. Sometimes my emotions are part of me, and I'm learning to love them and grow with them.
Do you know, I hadn't read any of them before, but I think that one was kind of quite. I think we need to hear that next week, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I think we need to hear that. I think we need to hear that next week, and maybe, hopefully, Tisha will be there. And I think it'd be nice if her cousin Jordan,
yes,
read that out for her. So thank you very much, Tishi, for ending the show. Whoa, he did say buckle up next week, didn't he? We heard him. He said buckle up. Saturday, 26th of March. Oh, she's there. Thanks, everyone. Oh my gosh. Do you think? I hope you'll come in next week, Tishi. And I think we'll get Jordan to, unless you've got somebody else, to read that one out for you. Yeah.
She might bring her trainer again.
Oh. She's hoping, and Rita's hoping. Sasha.
Yes.
Sasha, my PT, my personal trainer. All right, okay. We're gone. We're out of here. Thank you all, and we'll see you soon. All right, see you later.
See
Bye.
ya.
Ciao. Catch you tomorrow, darling.